to make the bodysuit build up, I am using my own muscle structure as a guide.
Did you already sandal that? Is that what that is, or?
Yeah, I use my belt sander,
Yay.
which is, a lot of you may or may not have.
That's what I thought it looked like. I mean, it looks like it's really well curved.
Yeah, and the idea is that I want to get this as thin as possible on the edge, because I don't want it to stand out as, oh, that guy's wearing a muscle suit. So what this will go on is a tight fitting shirt. That will, actually probably won't be a shirt while I'm going, thinking about constructing. And it will just fit over my body and will just project like I have been working out.
Per se.
Yeah, per se. The thing that I saw on this one, that the bodysuits were, was interesting, was the use of elastic. And what he did was, if I were to put this pectoral and the shoulder muscle, as it looks right now, and as it moved around, this would bunch. This guy used elastic that went over parts like this and held tight into armpits
Also,
and elbows.
putting it on would be like
Are you doing it
squeezing
like
into a shirt.
It'd be like squeezing into it.
Are you doing it like a shoulder brace?
It's also, no, it is a bodysuit.
Well, a shoulder brace does that same thing that goes.
Stay with me, it's a bodysuit.
Main point.
It will be a suit that you put on, it won't be individual things that you put on. Anyway, it will have elastic that will go through here. There's also elastic that came from
Does he
up
use
here.
the wide bands of elastic? Is that what it
Different,
is?
2-inch, the half-inch, and there's different types of elastic that you can get. Also, elastic that will start from up here and then go down to the ribs. All the ribs were individually made so that he could move
Oh,
with comfort.
sweet. So they were each attached.
They were attached. So it was like an external skeleton instead of just a suit.
Okay.
So also you were able to move around with more of a lifelike look. You know, you weren't Michael Keaton Batman like this. For Spawn, I'll probably go all the way up my neck and even create tendons and ligaments out of foam to build up the entire body underneath the mask. It's going to be warm.
Yeah,
It's also,
I was
it's
just
also,
thinking that.
it's also my October costume. You guys don't know Spawn, he's got this huge
Red
cape.
cape.
Yeah.
So, yeah, while everyone else is shivering, I'll just be outside. Nice out here.
Not as much
What are
material
these?
as what they used for Autumn's.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Yes,
well, that's
yes.
like 30
Yeah.
feet of material.
There's like 5 yards of pleather in
I
it.
haven't been.
Are
looking
you gonna use different sizes
I'll use
of the
different-
elastic, the different elastics
I'm
that
gonna
you
use different sizes of elastic, I'm gonna go different sizes of the foam. I'll build up with glue on the shoulder to
Detail.
make the short, I got a little.
And that piece goes right into that.
So,
piece, and that piece goes into that.
A lot of people are surprised when I take off
That's
that
why I
Captain
just
America
sort of
costume
make-
because
sort of
it's got shoulder
make
pads.
something.
So it's like, oh, you're just a little guy.
Just make it look and then put a wrap over. Cause he has a strap
But yeah,
that's
to build up
together as one piece.
the,
Hold it together,
the
yeah.
shoulders,
Yeah,
make it a
but I
little
was
bit
thinking
bigger.
about
The
doing
pecs
is taking
probably
some
won't
leather
be
and put
too
it
much
inside here,
because
just so I
I don't
can
want it to be
cockeyed.
Man boobs.
man
together.
boobs.
So like-
I also don't want,
Yeah.
people getting fights with
Both
me.
leather.
I don't,
But I was also thinking about putting leather in
and I
there,
also
so for-
don't want to put a lot of extra heat
Also
right on my
sweaty.
chest.
Yeah.
Summertime.
So you're gonna, the
Yeah,
trim
I
that
don't
down,
think
are
I
you
got
gonna
a
make
dressing shirt that I was thinking
the,
of that.
That'd be
the
better.
space between the pecs and the shoulders, are gonna have a little more spacing, or are they gonna be closer together?
They're going to be close because there's going to be elastic that'll go over it.
Okay,
But this will also come down a lot thinner along here.
to avoid the bunching.
Right. I'll go to a thinner one for on top of my rib cage up front, because your ribs don't get bigger when you work out.
No.
But
Wow.
it's to give the stability.
What? They don't?
They don't.
This part does.
But that's not ribs, that's muscle on top of the ribs.
Yeah.
This is bone.
You want the six-pack look.
So this will be built up if you need to have the stability of the entire suit. And this is going to be an entire suit. This will go from the neck, which will be probably detachable around here. Because I'm thinking if there is a case where I do get overheated, it'd be easy to ditch the cape, pull off the mask, and then remove the neck, and then at least I'm able to cool off using my neck. Just like every aspect they talk about cosplay, from how you conduct yourself at conventions, to how you deal with people in the public, construction of your suit is just as important for your own personal safety. Well, when I was designing a really expensive suit that was basically a live-inside puppet, one of the biggest things, and the first things I thought is, yeah, someone might need to get into it with help, but I wanted to make sure that a person could get out of it enough to get air, enough to panic attacks, anything like that that might happen inside the suit, that they can at least get their head free. Just because you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know how you're going to react in all aspects, so it's always best to go on the side of
You're on the side of caution.
Yeah, you're on the side of caution.
I know what you were saying.
With your,
I think we all did.
with your spawn suit, are you gonna have a top and a bottom, or is it gonna be one piece you get into, like say for, nature's call?
I always do two-piece. I always do two. I don't believe it in the onesie costume.
Okay.
Just because who wants to spend 20 minutes in the restroom to tearing down, go to the bathroom, and then building back up?
Then you have to go to the bathroom again. That's called mercy.
So yeah, it will be a two-piece costume with all thoughts made towards being able to enjoy the full day at a convention.
Is it gonna be tough to make it seamless between a top and a bottom?
In some ways, like if you're doing Spawn especially, but there are ways. I'm going to do first generation Spawn, which had the red. So basically, it will be a leotard with long pants.
No.
You're not doing the Spawn version from the movie.
That,
It's kind of the same. It's still the red.
Yeah.
But no, I won't be turning into Black Dynamite and
All right.
living inside the suit.
Ah.
It will.
he's doing the comic book.
The concept of the suit expanding, like Arthur, you were talking about the rhino suit, is to take into consideration some of the things that happen with muscle. It gets built up in that sometimes it may not be practical for you to make a tight-fitting muscle suit. You may need to build a cage for you to be in, and then build the muscle on top of the cage. But the same concept of projecting the mass of your own body outwards, so that if you're building up a huge cage, the chest muscles, you still have your center line, but the edge of the muscle is the projection proportionately from your own body. The thing is, it will make it more comfortable, especially if you're doing all the straps. But if you're not doing the straps, your range of movement will match the construction of this suit. I've seen really expensive bodysuits online, and they are way expensive.
Yeah.
I've seen people build bodysuits with 1 or 2 packs of this, and it's just as good, if not better. One, because they are able to custom make the muscle mass to the character that they are doing. I've seen people do Superman, and Superman is one that I've always thought, I've seen like Brandon Rouse, when we started filming Superman Returns, he actually had a bodysuit, but then it built up enough mass and he didn't need it. And the body mass on the muscles on it were extremely thin, like he didn't need much. But I've seen customers go from me to a much larger, a Brandon Rouse or Man of Steel proportions with just a bodysuit. And you wouldn't know, except they have skinny necks and the skinny necks and chubby faces, and it doesn't fit the overall scheme. But I was quite impressed to see how many costumers are doing bodysuits. And like I said, every article, there's people saying that you should be working out and you should actually
Look that good.
You should look that good.
What if you want to be a skinny guy for your next character, though?
Exactly.
How do you manage that?
Exactly.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Are there as many women as men in the bodysuit?
Yes. Well, there are, when it comes to depends on the costume. I guess from Captain Marvel, and there's been a few. I do believe the new Supergirl series, that's an actual bodysuit that she wears while she's Supergirl.
Excuse me.
Yeah, because she looks
Well,
muscular in her
well,
arms and her legs as she's super, because we watch it.
I've seen the like the behind the scenes pictures and stuff, and the angle that they're not shooting for TV, and it's like, oh, there's that bicep mass is moved, and so yeah. But there's also the case of a lot of costume designs were by men, and
They want to show up a lot of flesh.
yeah, it doesn't really work. But at the same time, there was one that did Cammy from the Street Fighter series, and it was a full bodysuit. And what she had done is she had done a really good job sanding all the edges, and fabric covered the entire suit and painted it in skin tones, so that she had these huge muscular legs on this costume that's basically a swimsuit. And the way she did her makeup and all other stuff, it really worked.
So
So
that way she could keep herself covered and still be in character.
right, and she was this really skinny cosplayer, and she was all of a sudden became this really muscular Street Fighter character.
Sorry.
I've also, when I was looking into the Hulk or the Rhino one, I saw another little small Asian gal who had made a suit, but it was more just a dickie that went around her neck and gave this little Asian girl the anime style chest, and it looked like flesh.
So it's going on, and people say, well, that's just cheating. It's cosplay.
It's costuming.
It's cosplay. If I mean, I'm not really.
Most of us aren't drawn that way.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not the, you know, a soldier brought back to life by the devil to avenge it, and I turned my back on the devil. No, I'm not that. I'm just a guy that's gonna be in a costume for a comic book character.
It's no more cheating than Hollywood does.
It's,
It's the same cheating.
it's the exact same cheating.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the guy that, I came across this article because I worked with the guy that they were interviewing in the article. So, yeah, it's the exact same. It's Hollywood magic. It's all the stuff that we've come to love from the movies. The thing that I'm excited about, and what I was thinking about was, what came across it was on your Predator suit was the fake skin. And all it was spandex that was fabric glued to the foam. So the cool thing was the elastic underneath it really looked like tendon. So it looked like a super cut, you know, cosplayer, the cami. She did her homework, and I kind of cheated here on the shoulders where I took this major mass of the shoulder and I put it all in one piece. She did all of the muscles separately with the elastic for the tendons and inside attached it just like it would be, except instead of the bone, it's to the suit underneath, and it was amazing. And for the most part, looks like this. This is a $7 book. The cool thing about it was, in this book, it breaks down muscles and stuff into major groups, but it also illustrates the tendon structure underneath. And it does a good job of breaking down how it's all attached from the chest to the shoulder and the ribs underneath, and it shows
Don't lose your.
it shows the muscles in movement, so that you can understand how your suit is going to move.
Cool.
And the cool thing about this book is this has been used by nearly every comic book artist in the existence of comic books. This predates all comic books. This is what was used for the anatomy structure of Superman. So this is gold as far as I'm concerned. Where I'm going to go next on it? Well, I've got to figure out how to make the suit wearable and easy to take on and off. Main reason is I don't get to cosplay much anymore. I am the guy sitting in an art salad. But I still want to play with cosplayers because I've gotten to know cosplayers around the country, so I want to be able to tell a person, like I bring someone along with me to watch the table, I want to be able to slip into these suits really quick and go take pictures with my friends. So that's a major concern that I have for these suits. So I'm going to have to be able to slip it on like a jacket and be able to snap it or zip it or Velcro it together. And with a little luck, I'll be able to put on costumes exactly as I would before, except just a little bit bigger. I think my goal on this is to have it completed by the March drink and draw. because I have a Superman suit. It's a DC edition. I have a Superman suit that was for my friend. He's a bodybuilder.
Ooh.
So, it's always been baggy pajamas on me. So I'm thinking that, since I have his measurements, I'm basically going to make the Spawn and the Superman, muscle suit, which I'll probably just use the same thing since the neck is coming off, to his weightlifting proportions. So, we're gonna try to get that done. The Punisher is actually the one that we were working on before. It's actually slated to be used in a fan film. So, I'm looking forward to seeing
Well, that turns out.
how that production turns out. Hopefully, it will do us all justice. So that's all I brought. And some California dreaming, but.
What's the book author? No.
It's George Bridgman. George Bridgman, and for a while, Michael's had this book and a lot of his other books available. It's real cheap to get from like Amazon. I probably should buy another one. This one's starting to fall apart and.
Yeah, price bookstore.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's a graphic artist. I'm studying it.
Sit down, sir.